May 22, 1968. The Atlantic Ocean stretches endlessly, dark and silent. Deep beneath the surface, one of America's most advanced nuclear submarines disappears without warning. 99 men vanish. No distress call, no sign of struggle, only questions that still echo through history. This is the story of USS Scorpion, a vessel lost to the mysteries of the deep and the shadow of the Cold War. USS Scorpion, hull number SSN 589, was a skipjack-class nuclear submarine commissioned in 1960. She represented the cutting edge of U.S. naval technology, streamlined, fast, and armed with the latest torpedoes. Designed for deep-sea reconnaissance and anti-submarine warfare, Scorpion was a symbol of American power beneath the waves during the height of Cold War tensions. Captain James S. Sharp, a seasoned officer with years of submarine command experience, led her crew of 99 men. Many were young sailors, trained to navigate and fight under conditions no ordinary human had ever experienced. They were confident, disciplined, and aware of the dangers of their profession. The ocean was both their home and their grave. In May 1968, Scorpion had completed her Atlantic patrols and was ordered to return to her home port in Norfolk, Virginia. Her route took her across the mid-Atlantic, far from commercial shipping lanes, into a stretch of ocean where the depth often exceeded 3,000 meters. The seas were deceptively calm, betraying nothing of the storm, political and environmental, that awaited beneath. On May 21, Scorpion departed her station near the Azores. Communications logs indicate routine check-ins with Fleet Command. Her last acknowledged message, sent at 23:09 UTC on May 21, was brief. USS Scorpion to Command. All systems normal, returning to Norfolk. It would be the last message ever received. Over the next 24 hours, attempts to contact the submarine were met with silence. Initially, Navy Command assumed a temporary communication glitch, but as the hours turned into a day, concern escalated. Scorpion was overdue, and unlike surface vessels, a nuclear submarine had no radio contact when submerged beyond periscope depth unless intentionally surfaced. By May 24, a full-scale search was underway. Aircraft, surface vessels, and sonar teams combed the ocean, but no wreckage was found. The Atlantic seemed to have swallowed her whole. The disappearance immediately attracted speculation. 1968 was the height of the Cold War. U.S. naval intelligence and the CIA were acutely aware of Soviet submarine patrols in the Atlantic. Some theorists proposed that Scorpion had been engaged in a covert mission and may have encountered a Soviet sub. Theory 1. Soviet sub encounter. Soviet naval records, partially declassified decades later, suggest that Scorpion may have crossed paths with a Whiskey-class submarine on a reconnaissance patrol. Could a miscalculated maneuver have resulted in a collision, or a torpedo strike in a secretive engagement? Theory 2. Internal torpedo malfunction. Scorpion carried Mk-37 torpedoes, which had known propulsion instability in extreme depths. One scenario posits that a torpedo may have prematurely detonated within the tube, causing catastrophic flooding and hull breach. Theory 3. Intelligence cover-up. Some Navy analysts argue that the submarine's true mission remains classified, hinting at covert espionage or experimental weapons testing. Public explanations, they say, were simplified to protect sensitive information. Each theory paints a picture of mystery, plausible but unprovable. On October 27, 1968, oceanographers using sonar mapping detected wreckage in the Atlantic, approximately 740 kilometers southwest of the Azores. The submarine lay in two main sections, bow and stern, separated by nearly 200 meters. Analysis revealed the hull was imploded, indicating sudden catastrophic collapse at depth. Torpedo rooms and the control room were heavily damaged, indicating internal explosions. The reactor compartment was intact, indicating nuclear failure was unlikely the primary cause. Divers could not reach the site; it was too deep, so all conclusions relied on sonar imagery and recovered debris floating at the surface, including hatches, personal effects, and fragments of torpedo casings. Multiple investigations ensued, but none fully explained Scorpion's loss. Accidental flooding or structural failure. The hull may have been stressed from repeated deep dives. Minor cracks or seal failures could have triggered rapid flooding. Torpedo malfunction. An accidental detonation inside the torpedo room remains plausible. The resulting shock wave would have exceeded the hull's crush depth. Hostile engagement. Although no conclusive evidence exists, the presence of Soviet submarines in the area raises the possibility of a Cold War encounter gone wrong. Some analysts point to minor anomalies in Soviet logs suggesting a submarine loss incident in the same window. Command error or procedural mistake. Human error can never be ruled out. A miscalculated depth change or emergency maneuver in the mid-Atlantic could have precipitated disaster. The U.S. Navy released only minimal details, fueling decades of speculation. Books, documentaries, and Cold War historians continued to debate Scorpion's fate. All 99 men on board perished. The Navy memorializes them at the United States Submarine Veterans Wall of Honor. Families have long lived with unanswered questions, some still hoping for closure, others resigned to the mystery of the deep. The Scorpion case remains one of the few nuclear submarine losses in U.S. history and one of the most enigmatic maritime disasters of the 20th century. "The sea has a way of keeping its secrets," a retired sonar officer once said, and sometimes history never tells the whole story. Today, USS Scorpion is studied by oceanographers and military historians alike. Its wreckage lies quietly on the ocean floor, a monument to Cold War tensions and the limits of human knowledge. The mystery endures. The combination of advanced nuclear technology, human decision-making, environmental hazards, and Cold War intrigue makes Scorpion's disappearance a haunting reminder of the ocean's power and the era's clandestine struggles.